Miss Croft.
We become who we're meant to be.
I'm Adam Sessler. I'm not important. What is important is this gentleman here. This is Brian Horton, who is the game director on Rise of the Tomb Raider. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks so much, Adam.
So the name of the game itself is quite interesting because obviously we had the reboot of Tomb Raider 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Yep.
And at the end of the game, that's at the point it really established Lara Croft as the iconic character that we know her as. And I kind of gleaned from the title of this one that we're really starting to flesh out her role as a slightly cold and very daring, adventurous person.
Yeah, we believe she's on a path to become the Tomb Raider. This is the rise of the Tomb Raider. We don't really believe at the end of the last game she fully transformed. But she did glimpse something. She saw something that she couldn't explain, and it drives her. Now she's proactively seeking out these dark secrets throughout the world, and that's really what kicks off our story, is people don't believe what happened to her really happened, and she's trying to go out into the world to prove it.
When Tomb Raider was first out in the early 90s, we did try to establish backstory or this sense of character depth or narrative. Is it challenging or is it easier when you take something that already existed that wasn't really well established and try to mine that for depth, or is it more challenging to try to look at something that everyone thinks they know and then try to re-articulate it?
Well, the great thing about Tomb Raider is it is such a beloved character, but you're right. Lara Croft herself was kind of undeveloped in her back. I mean, she had some backstory, she had some personality, but the way we're fleshing her out now, we're trying to retain the DNA of what makes her Lara Croft, which in a way is nice because it gives you something to work with, but then bringing the layers in, like, painting the picture in a more complete way, it's been a fantastic challenge. As a fan of Tomb Raider, as a big Tomb Raider fan myself, it's been, a career honor to do it.
A very prominent thing that we see in the demo of Rise of the Tomb Raider is the snow, the ice. Obviously, it's very pretty, but I would have to say, especially like looking back at other games like Uncharted 2, having something that has to be both slightly reflective, translucent, it's water, but it's solid. I mean, on a technical level, that cannot be, you could just have dirt and just kind of move on to the next stage of your development.
Making ice has to be one of the most ridiculously hard things to do in video games next to fluid simulation. And we tried to do both of them in this game. So I think we have a little bit of, we had a challenge that we put ourselves up. We wanted to make the best looking game we possibly could. And when we chose this area in Siberia, we wanted to do justice to it, both in the snow technology, making the trenches in the snow really make you feel like you have effort when you're going through that snow. And that ice needs to feel crisp and cool, and then also like frosted in some places and gathering snow on the tops.
Why? I mean, it's really cool, and I think, myself as a player and many other people will be the beneficiaries of it, but it's a huge, burden for you guys to try to work on something like that and try to perfect it. I mean, why would you do that to yourselves, excuse me?
Well, we had a couple things that we really wanted to accomplish. We wanted Lara to be the most believable character in video games. So we invested a lot in her facial performance, in her skin shaders, and her hair, and her secondary animation. So we knew fidelity was going to be very important for the character. But the world is the second most important character in a Tomb Raider game. So what do we want to do? We wanted to make this world memorable. And the way to do that, and especially in a next generation console switch, is take on these hard challenges and really bring something special, something the player can remember and go, wow, that space looked amazing, and I'm going to remember that.
When you start to make something that looks so believable, does it, I think there's always one extra step you can take. Okay, hold on, let's refine that animation. How do you guys discipline yourselves so you know when to stop? Because I think you could just keep on going at it, and the game will never come out.
It's a never-ending process. On the search to reach perfection, you're always going to fail. So what we have to do is find a baseline. We came up with what we said was, this is the quality target. We had one cinematic that we said, this cinematic really says what we wanted to say on getting Camilla Luddington's performance onto our new high-resolution Lara Croft character. And then you have to say, all right, that's our baseline. We have to get a consistent result across the rest of the game.
Obviously, you want the player to play the game, but in trying to make a believable world with a believable character, you then kind of need to remove some of the more traditional play elements from the person holding the controller. I mean, do you feel that tension a lot as you're designing a game like this?
we feel we've got a really nice blend of what we call the immersive, HUD-less experience and true core systemic mechanics, something that you can really get your teeth sunk into. So we've increased our crafting system tremendously on this game, and through campsites, which you can be a little bit more UI heavy, we go really gamey in a lot of ways, because you can in a UI context. So when you're in the world and you're gathering these resources, you're hunting, I'm not just getting XP points, I'm getting hide. That's contextual, I can use hide. I get wood, I can use wood, I can combine hide and wood and make stuff. So now you're taking the reality of something, but you're also gamifying it. So we're always riding that tension of make the world believable, what can I really do with these things in the world, and then create systems out of it. And that's what's pretty exciting for us.
At the very least, I think we're learning that video games may at least train us to be very effective scavengers if, God forbid, the apocalypse visits us. When is Rise of the Tomb Raider coming out?
Rise of the Tomb Raider comes out November 10th this year, so you're going to have your grubby little hands on it very, very soon.
Really looking forward to it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.